Good evening, welcome back to Frugal Outdoors and myself Dylan, out fishing again, surprise surprise. It's Monday, it's Bank Holiday Monday. We're out having a go. We are on the landslide at Totland, so Totland Pier is just over there, Colwell's just over there, Warden Ledge is over there. There's a couple of guys fishing just around the corner, and he did say that it's a good time to get a smooth out, so fortunately I've brought a couple of spider crabs with me today, so I'm hoping there could be a chance of that. I've brought small rods, 12-foot rod and a bass rod. Again, I'm just going to fart about again, really, just enjoy it. I'm hoping to try and get into my first bream of the year, and I'm hoping to try and get a smooth hound. Tom's coming down later with Nick, and Tom's bringing some rags. I'm hoping I can try and get a wrasse before it gets dark, to see if I can get multiple species today. But to be honest, one species would be nice. It'd be nice if it was a bream. I'm going to get set up and I'll show you my gear. Right, I'm all set up. The sun's just about to break through the clouds again, which is going to be nice. It's a little bit choppier. In fact, I'll show you quickly now. Yeah, it's a little choppier, as you can see, than I'd think. It's a bit. We got northwesterly, so it's blowing like straight in at us today. So whether or not the bream will be around, I don't know. But you know what? I don't really mind. I just want to chuck a bait in the water. If I can get a bream, brilliant. If I can get a fish, brilliant. Yeah, and just enjoy it. But I'll quickly show you my rods and what I'm using. So as I was saying, I have not brought heavy gear with me today at all. So I've got a bass rod, which is an Icon Bass, which is 11.6, 2 to 4 ounce. I am casting a 5 ounce gripper on it, but I'm not casting it very far. I'm not going to whack it. I'll show you in a second the rig that's on that. I should have brought my 4 ounce grippers, to be honest. I thought it was a 2 to 5, if I'm completely honest with you, and it's not. It's a 2 to 4. So I've brought 5s. I should have brought 4s. Never mind. And on that I've got 45-pound braid, and that's on a bait runner, because later on I want to have a go see if I can get a bass and a hound. On this side I've got the Abu Garcia Enticer, which is a 12-foot. That's got my standard setup on it. I'm not using a 16-pound in the leader today. I'm using 25-pound straight through, because I don't have to whack it out there. There's water straight away, probably in about 2-3 meters of water straight away, so there's no sense in bringing light gear when it's a bit snaggy, do you know what I mean? So that's 45-pound braid, that's 25-pound mono, so I should hopefully get my gear back. So on the bass rod I'm using an up and over. It's actually a place rig that I've just butchered and doctored and taken some beads off and put some different beads on. So it's an up and over rig. It's got a tiny little size 4 really fine wire hook on it, worm hook. That's got a tiny strip of, well, not tiny strip, it's actually half a squid, a smaller squid. It's got a pop-up bead on it and a couple of red beads. So I'm going to chuck that out on the lighter rod. Again, I'm only using 3 hooks today because I want to try and get some species. On that side I've got my cheap and cheerful 2-hook flapper, no clips, nothing at all. Top hook size 2. That's got a piece of mackerel on it, and the bottom hook is another size 2, and that's got a piece of squid on it. And then as soon as Tom gets here, I can hopefully chuck some worm out as well. But let's get these out. God, that is really bright. Hopefully you can see the rods. The right hand rod is the bass rod, and that's really quite flexy, so it's actually bending over. Even though it's got the braid and really shouldn't be moving that much in the wind, it's quite whippy. But we're fishing. And I'm chuffed, and the sun's just come out. Happy days. So yeah, hopefully I'm going to get a couple of spare rigs ready, and hopefully we can pull out a fish. I'm actually really looking forward to Tom getting down with some worm. I've made some rigs that literally just it's a piece of hook length. I've tied a triple loop knot in it, snipped one off. I've got the tiniest little hook. I don't even know what size it is. I'm thinking maybe a size 8 or a 10. Tied a loop in the bottom, swivel on the top, so if I lose it, it doesn't matter. I'm going to put a little 2 ounce lead on that, And I'm just going to dink it around, let it roll around, see if I can't find some, I don't know, some different types of wrasse, some blennies, some gobies, just have a bit of fun with it really. It's a shame it's blowing a little bit. I didn't think it'd be quite as windy as this. It wasn't like it at work today, but we'll try, see what we can get. So before I can't even see the screen, it's so bright. Before I bait out, I'm going to quickly show you this rig. These are predominantly my Bream rigs, because pretty much most places I fish for Bream, it's pretty snaggy. So they're not throwaway rigs, because I don't like to throw away anything, because I'm pretty tight like that. But I make them as not as cheap as I can. I know I can make it cheaper, but this is a pretty cheap rig. So the rig body is probably about 900 mil to a metre long. It's got a swivel there. That swivel looks like that's one that I've found on another rig on the beach. There we go. So it's just a small swivel that will hook onto my main line or my leader, whatever. And then to keep the knots in this, bearing in mind this is 60-pound amnesia. So to keep my swivels in place, so my snoods, I've got 2 beads. Now these beads, you see them there, they're green. I found those in a charity shop for 50p, and I bought a bag of about 200. So I'm holding those in place with just a simple overhand knot. Now I know that will weaken it, but bearing in mind this is 60-pound. My main line is 25-pound. If I've halved the strength there, it's still stronger than my main line anyway. I mean, and I'll be funny, I've caught stingray on this as well, so it's my phone going. And then so I've got 2 of those, no clips, no nothing like that. There's a clip on the bottom for my lead, and that's 25-pound amnesia hook length, which is about 10 inches I'd say. Again, I've got sequins here. These were found at a charity shop in a little box, 50p. And that's got a little size 4, which is smaller than I normally use. Normally I use size 2s or size 1s for Bream. But I go on a size 4 just to scratch around really, just to see what's about. But I need to quickly answer that phone and get this one baited up. I thought I was getting a bite then, and I still think I was getting a bite, and then I saw a bit of weed and I slowed my reel down and I just got into a snag. I can't feel anything on it. Let's see if I can pull it out. There we go. So snap the rig. Kind of lost the lead, but in hindsight, you know, it's not actually that bad, is it? Yes, you can see there, it snapped on one of my knots. So I got half the rig back, a few bits of terminal tackle, just lost my lead, which is a bit of a pain in the backside, but never mind. Go again. So Tom the hero, look at it, it's dark. If I go there, maybe you'll be able to see me. Yeah, so Tom's just turned up and he's brought loads of rag actually. Far more than I was expecting. So I've just baited one up. It's only got 1 rag on the bottom and a couple of spider legs on the top. I'm going to chuck that one out very, very shortly while it's still daylight, see if I can't get a wrasse. And just like I say, just have a bit of a play around. If I can get a couple of small species today, I'll be happy. And then see what happens later, chuck some bigger baits out. When it gets dark, I'll fish for another, I think high tide is maybe sort of 9 o'clock, so high tide is right at the, when it's gonna get dark. And then hopefully if we can fish a little bit of the ebb, it might run a bit hard, but hopefully we can fish a bit of the ebb and chuck some bigger baits out, and a bit of water movement in there should hopefully entice a few bites. But we'll see how we get on anyway. We're fishing, it's quite nice. It's gone cloudy again. which can be a good thing because the moon's quite big today. So, but yeah, just hopefully we can get a fish. God, you can definitely tell I've got braid on the other rod. It's the lighter rod of the two as well, and it got braid on it, so it's just going and every single bit of swell. I'm not a massive fan of using braid, if I'm honest. But it was it's on that reel because it's my it's actually I put the braid on it because I was going to use it on the boat, and then it's like, well, I can keep the braid on it for using it for bass, because predominantly that's why I bought the bait when I was bass fishing. And then I was going to go on a boat trip, so I loaded it up with 45-pound braid, and then it's still on there, never used on the boat. So, but I think I'm going to bring it in anyway now. Chuck another worm bait out on that one. See if we can't get into something. Right, let's have a look at this. This is a little rig that I'm going to be using. In fact, I'm going to use it. I've got a rig baited which I'll chuck out. But while the sun is still out and it's nice and warm and it's bright, I'm hoping there's a chance of picking up some micro species. So that is basically what I was explaining earlier. It's literally a swivel at the top. It's one length of hook length. I think this is maybe 25 pound. I've done a double overhand loop in the middle, then snipped one side of it. I've made a loop in there, just hooked it over the lead. It's a little 2-ounce pear lead, and then on there got like a, I don't know, 10-inch snood with like this, I don't know what size hooks these are. These got sent to me actually by David. Thank you if you're watching. It's a very, very small. Hopefully, there we go. I'm thinking it's possibly a size 8 or a 10. But I'm going to put it down, see if I can't pick something up. Why not? Hello. Fish. Hello. Hello, little wrasse. Didn't even see a bite. Yes, mate. Oh, I think that's a little ballon because it hasn't got a spot. There we go. Look at that for a dinky little wrasse. Wicked, we're off the mark anyway. Ooh, come back here. I thought it might have been a little corkwing, but it's not, it's a ballon. I think the corkwing's got a little spot just here on its tail. I don't even know if I've ever had one. There we go. But yeah, let's chuck this one back in, and I'm going to put that really tiny little hook out now with a tiny bit of rag. Oh, how happy am I to get a little fish like that? It's probably one of the smallest fish I think I've caught all year, and I'm absolutely over the moon. I've just chucked that tiny little bait out. It's literally a piece of rag, a tail of a rag, if even at that, about that long, maybe about 2 inches. And I've literally just chucked it out like 3 yards off the wall here, hoping again just to pick up another wrasse. I'd like a corkwing. I don't think I've ever had one. I think I might have a bite already. Yeah, little corkwing wrasse, blennies, gobies. Something's having a go at it though.
You in, mate? Mate, as if that made that bite.
And there we go. That is a little corkwing. See the spot there on the tail? That's my first corkwing wrasse. Small again, but I'll take it. Wicked. Got another customer, I reckon, on the little one. Look at that! The colours on this fish are unbelievable. Let's bring you over here. See if I can't. It is absolutely stunning. Look at that. Lovely little wrasse. I'm assuming it's a ballan wrasse, I don't know. I know there's more species of wrasse, but like that first one looked like a corkwing to me, but didn't have the spot, so. But yeah, look at that little puppy. That is absolutely stunning. The blues and turquoise in that are amazing. Right, let's chuck that back in, and I think, to be honest, I'm done with that small little hook. Now I can start fishing for bream a bit harder. Well, it's an absolutely stunning evening. You can see the sun is just about to set behind us. Tom's had a wrasse. I've had 3 little wrasse. Tiny little fish, but it's not a blank. But I'm trying to focus on trying to get a bream before that sun disappears. I know they're coming out, and I've seen the 2 myself I've seen come out in the night time. But yeah, it'd be nice to, like I say, just as that sun's dropping, I reckon it's a really good chance of a bream. It's going to be hitting high tide. I've lost a couple of rigs, or broken 2 rigs. So I've lost the lead, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. But I've got everything else back, so. But yeah, just be nice to get that bream. Ooh, that sun has gone, isn't it? It's dark, hang on. Boom, there we go, kinda. Let's try that again. Ta-da! There we go, let's try that. There we go. Right, I'm just gonna chuck this one out very quickly. It's super light on there, but not so much here. The sun has gone down, it's stunning actually, to be honest. Moon's starting to come out, but I'm gonna chuck out a big old lump of spider crab there, peeler spider crab. That's on a 4-0 pulley pennel. Thanks buddy, Nigel. So I'm gonna chuck this out now on the one side, and I'm gonna keep chucking out some squid and mackerel and stuff like that on the other side. See if I can't pick up a bream still. But yeah, let's see what else is lurking around. I thought for a crazy second I might actually be getting a bite on the rod that's closest to you, the one with the longer tip on it. That's the bass rod. But it is on braid, so it could have been a crab in all fairness. And more than likely was. The hooks are just getting stripped all the time now. Now that sun's gone, it's just getting stripped, so. Oh, no, there we go. Well, I was convinced I was getting a bite then, but wasn't to be that time. So I'm going to bait it back up. That was worm tipped. One was worm tipped with squid, one was tipped with mackerel, so I'm going to do exactly the same again. And chuck it out, see if we can't get something. I'd say neither of us had a fish since those wrasse. I think the tide has just started to turn. So it's going to speed up again in a minute, and hopefully it will, you know, something will come to life. Wow, that's bright. That's better. Hello. It'd be rude, really, while I'm here with a bass rod and my bait runner, not to put a bass bait in. So I've got a running ledger. It's a locked-in running ledger. I know a lot of people don't like using them. I tend to prefer them, to be honest. And a lot of the bass that I've had have come on this type of running ledger, so it's probably about 4 foot locked in. I've got a little 2-ounce pear lead on it, and then I've probably got about 600 mil of hook length. I've got a 5-0 wide mouth hook with just like 3 little glowy beads. I'm going to chuck that over there in close to the wall, chuck a few scraps in there, chop up the mackerel that I've got, chuck that in there. Although I'm using a crab, but I'm going to chum it with mackerel. Maybe I should use the mackerel head, I don't know. I'm going to chuck one in anyway, see what happens. Oh, there we go. He's on. Is he? No, he's not. So yeah, left-hand rod, which is basically the longer one of the two, looking the way you're looking at it. It was going for a while, playing, gave it some more line, playing, and then I held on to it, and then suddenly it just went. It's going again now. I mean, it could be a conger, to be fair. I'm hoping it's a bass, of course. There we go. Mate, it's playing games. Thing.
Mate, really? You've got to be on.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
That's still not on. It's still not on. Oh, this is one thing with bass fishing I find is really frustrating. So there's like 2 bites I've missed. Like I say, there's no guarantee it's a bass. It looked pretty bassy to me, but what do I know? Could have been a conger, could have been a big crab. But I like to think it was a bass. So I've just chucked a fresh half crab, exactly the same place. I'm going to chop up a couple of bits of squid, chuck that in there. That's what I did before. I chucked some mackerel in there. Mate. It's on. Is it on? Mine was just bouncing. Here it goes, look.
Yeah, mine's mine.
Sausage.
Yeah, it's like picking a live crab.
So we're both determined to try and catch whatever it is out there, because Tom's been getting the same. Like I say, it could be a conger. But I would have thought a conger would have hooked itself by now, to be honest. So I've just chucked my other one over there as well. That's got a anchovy and a whole squid bound together. Again, 2 ounce pear lead. I've literally got 1/2 a crab left. This one's been going quite a few times as well, so I might quickly change it, put a fresh one on, and then that's pretty much me done. I've got 1 squid left that I can bind up. In fact, actually I've got a mackerel head as well. But it keeps going every now and again. Like that. But it's not hooking up. Oh, Tom's just had a dogfish. Said it's got loads of teeth, so it could be a little huss, but it's a fish anyway, so that's what counts. We're both fishing like super close now, super close, super quiet. Still getting bites on that same rod. I did just get a couple of knocks on the other rod as well. Like I say, they're both probably like 3 meters away from each other, and they're probably only about 2 meters out from the edge. They're then super close. But I've just cast them away from me a little bit, and I've chucked the last of the mackerel in. Yeah, just in the hope that I can hook whatever it is.
We got a little rockling.
Got a rockling, yeah. Ha. Well, little shore rockling, that was one of them anyway. Could have been that the whole time, to be fair. Took that whole half a crab. But it's another species anyway. It's not the bream, it's not the bass, it's not a conger. But I'm going to chuck that other crab out and see what we can get.
You're doing it.
I am, yeah, I'm packing up. Yeah, as you just heard, I'm packing up. I've already packed one rod up. They haven't moved again since. The tide's been ebbing for maybe an hour and a half. We pushed it a little bit longer than we were going to anyway, because it was like, do you know what, let's get an earlier one tonight. Fish somewhere nice and easy. Hasn't actually been that easy. I've lost 2 leads. I've got the rigs back, but I've lost the leads. And yeah, and it's been a battle of wheels, man, in this corner with whatever it is. Could have just been that three-bearded rockling. Could have been a bass, could have been a conger, whatever it was. It just kept on playing. And yeah, I feel pretty wide because of it, to be honest. I'm going to pack this one up. Tom's packing up as well. Get all our gear together. Make sure we haven't left any rubbish, and we'll get back to the vans. So, hope you enjoyed it, as always. Thanks for your support, as always. And until the next time, please take care, stay safe, and I'll maybe see you out there. Cheers.